In the past, Right to Read had up to 50 people waiting several months for instruction. Today, students begin learning within a few weeks of contacting the program. The program has essentially eliminated its waiting list by implementing an orientation, new student classes, small group instruction, paid instructors, and peer tutors.
The way our program works is basically a phone call happens. We make an assessment over the phone to see whether the program is going to fit for them or not. We do an initial assessment. If the program doesn't really serve their needs as they talk to us, then we'll make a referral. If it looks like it's going to work for them, then we do offer them the opportunity to come into an orientation. Then once they get to the orientation, once again, an assessment is made. We look at their history, what their needs are, they look at our program, and if it looks mutually that it's going to work, we call them for an actual assessment, and then we invite them to the new learner class.
Application.
Excellent.
Once I have the orientation, they're not put on a waiting list. They're automatically put into a group, a new student group. I give them the information, what day the group is, what time, everything, and then they start right away.
The new learner class basically is a class where we're preparing them to work in a group. We're preparing them with basics on reading and kind of writing skills, and we're preparing them for a long-term commitment, really. By having the new student class, though, that allows us one more opportunity to bring students into the program instead of just waiting for a class, a group. The more opportunities that we create, then of course the waiting list is going to get reduced.
We've found that students really gain a lot from being in a group because they are able to share and teach as a part of being in a small group. So everybody brings skills with them when they come into our program, bring knowledge with them, and it's an empowering experience to be able to use those in helping other people, and that builds confidence, I think, and then improving in those areas where one might be weaker or have more trouble. And then Leticia can maybe help us with the TION. What does that sound like? Shun.
Sure.
The ending sounds like shun.
Sure.
There's the benefit to the students that they're learning from other students in that small group setting. And I've found that as a teacher, to have other students who are really tutors to each other in the group is extremely helpful. I might be explaining something in a way that isn't clicking with somebody in the group, but another student might have a way of explaining it, or they might have a way of sounding out a word or breaking down a word that I haven't thought of to explain in that particular way. So the students are gaining by learning from each other in the group as well.
It's very interesting being with people, you know, different levels, because some read better than others, some spell better than others, and we all have our own goods of something, and I love it. What surprised me when I came here also, because, yeah, you see people with different age, older, younger, and to see some people that don't know how to read. When I first started the class, and it's not even 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and I can see the progress of these different people, how they're reading now.
I like the group thing because all these people have helped me in so many different ways. And I just think it's way better if you've got other people. And this way you can all feel comfortable and you don't feel like you're the dumb one in the group, you know. You know, wow, well, everybody has a little problem with this or that. And you know, if you help each other, it makes me excited. I don't know. I like it.
You have a much better chance of student retention with small group instruction. And the kind of community that you can build. Students are committed not just to their own learning, but they're committed to other students as well. They're committed to the whole group. There's a lot of support, a lot of encouragement. All of that helps. All of that helps motivate students. It helps motivate coming. It helps keep the momentum and the interest. It's not just about adding 6 people to one tutor, and then you get, no more waiting lists, and we've got this small groups. You had to really have good, trained people to run the small groups. So we eventually transitioned not just from the idea to train tutors, but to actually having paid professional staff. We use tutors too, but with staff who are really trained as teachers and they can work and facilitate groups, they can take much larger groups. If you don't have the resources to have paid staff, but you do have the resources of trained volunteers, then I think what you really, to be successful, is to just think about your training very carefully for your volunteers and be sure that you do a good training and that you do good monitoring of the volunteer and the groups that they run.
My background as an immigrant and also as a student in the program before, I think that really helped me. Get closer to a student here, because most of the students here are immigrants, right? And I kind of like inspire them. If I can do it, I came to this country 10 years ago. You know, if I can do it, they can do it.
They're very comfortable together. You know, you have one student and another new person coming in, and they're able to have a rapport and get to know each other. And it's more of an equal kind of relationship that they would have. And then the student who teaches, the peer tutor, is also continues to learn by teaching, because actually teaching is one of the best ways to learn.
This. It's hard for the students to study at home, so I went to the teachers and asked how they thought about me to start a student study group to help the students study. It gives them a place to come and study and someone to help with their homework. Some of the students, when you do readings, it's hard for them to understand what the reading is. You have to, maybe talk it over several times. It gives an extra person to walk around in the new student classes. They're working their writings, and an extra person to help say a word or keep them going in their writing.
I think what we've created is a situation where we can continue to generate more and more tutors, and more students becoming tutors, and more students coming into the program. And it's a different kind of recruitment than going out into the community and trying to find volunteers. It's a different kind of training because it's more of a mentoring relationship too. There's not a simple recipe. What we did in our program can't definitely just be replicated somewhere else exactly the same way. Parts of it can be, but every program has their own character to it. And I think part of the reason our program works is that we are always reevaluating. We're always re-examining. How is it going? What are we doing? What does it look like? Are these groups working? Do we need something different? So I think that programs should think about what their philosophy is, their educational philosophy, their philosophy toward adult learners. Look at their resources. There's ways to creatively do it. Be thoughtful about the process. Don't hesitate. Definitely do it, but be thoughtful as you go through the process.